Hi, I'm Michael from Pack Hacker. In this video, we'll be talking about the Mountain Hardwear Simcoe 28 backpack, which I've been testing for 6 weeks. If you find this video helpful, please subscribe so we can continue making content to help you travel smarter. So let's get started. So starting off, this bag has a minimalist design that doesn't really have any external compartments. To the uninitiated, it looks black, but upon closer examination, it's actually bluish black with a black accent piping that goes along the zipper track to open the main compartment of the bag. This bag has a TPU waterproof shell and a darker tonal Mountain Hardwear logo at the top. Mountain Hardwear went through the trouble of creating bonded seams, which gives it this nice minimalist aesthetic. But then you'll notice there's 4 reinforced areas of stitching that actually look like rips in the bag. And I noticed that during week 1 of testing, and I thought my kitten had did this damage or artwork to the bag, but it was actually just how the bag came. There's 4 rubberized pull tabs along the bag to grab onto. Just because it's so sleek, there's not a whole lot to grab onto. One important thing to note is that this bag cannot stand up on its own, and I will actually be discussing that later on in the video. Now let's take a closer look at the back of the bag. Starting off with the padding, you'll notice that it starts off wide at the shoulders and tapers down towards the lower back. At the very top of the bag, there is a non-elastic strap to grab onto. And in terms of the shoulder straps, so they're firm but still comfortable even when I had this bag fully loaded and I was wearing it for about 3 hours on my recent trip. There is an attachment loop system for this sternum strap, so you could actually adjust the height of the sternum strap, which I appreciate that detail. And you'll also notice that there's another subtle Mountain Hardwear bag. And in case what bag you forget you're wearing, you have the Simcoe 28 tag along the back here. Focusing on the fit of the bag, this bag sits high and tight to the torso. This bag is fully loaded and I don't really feel any weight or pressure on my shoulders. However, I feel the weight of the bag in the small of my back, which I actually don't mind because it's comfortable and it just kind of fits the curvature of my back naturally, so that's a plus. Along the front, we have a sternum strap, which isn't really stretchy, but has just enough play where this doesn't feel too tight. And there's also an attachment loop system, so you could adjust the height of the sternum strap, which I mentioned earlier, but I kind of like it where it is by default, which is more towards the top of the bag. So let's start talking about the compartments of this bag, starting with the quick access pocket at the very top. You'll see that the quick access pocket is pretty incognito. It does have this green marl paracord along the top, and that's how you kind of know it's there. I'll unzip this. It has black zipper hardware, which is YKK. Inside of the quick access pocket, you'll notice that it has a microfiber lining, which I'm not a big fan of. I don't like how it feels against my skin, but I do appreciate that it protects my devices. When I was traveling and going through TSA, I was easily able to put my iPhone Pro Max in there. It was actually this exact one. My car keys, my wallet, etc. And I still had room to spare inside this compartment. So that's a pretty nice feature. Looking at the back of the bag, you'll see that we actually have some inconspicuous as well compartments, and these are on the sides and these are for water bottles. We have a fairly large water bottle in here that I can take out. I did end up using this while I was traveling just to keep my hands free. And I had a water bottle in here, but I also think you could fit a compact umbrella, a travel tripod, or even a Subway footlong sandwich if you were in that situation. One thing I wish that they did with these side bolster water bottles is I wish there was some sort of way to latch it or attach, some way to latch it closed, just because I always kind of had in the back of my head a fear that I'd be walking through the airport and the water bottle I had in here would fall out because it's just an elastic opening. and nothing to kind of keep it shut, a water bottle would fall out and it'd make a huge sound and everyone look at me like, who is this guy? Someone call airport security. So I didn't use it too much, but I did use it on my last day just to keep my hands free. Okay, so now time for the star of the show, while you're watching this video, to talk about the inside of this bag. After 6 weeks of testing, I learned the best way to use this bag, operate this bag, is to actually lay it flat, just because it can't stand up on its own. So you require a lot of space, something to keep in mind, to lay this bag flat and open it. Opening the bag up, you'll see on the inside there is a kind of thin, streamlined pocket on the innermost flap. The other side of the TPU shell, which is a blackish blue on this side, is actually white on this side. I was throwing all sorts of uncapped pens and Sharpies and highlighters in here for 6 weeks, and it still looks pretty pristine, which is nice. Where the bonded seams are on the outside, there is a white waterproof tape along here, 2 points here, 2 points there. And I didn't really use this compartment that much during travel, just because it's so thin that I think if you put anything thicker than a passport in here, it would be visible on the outside. Real quickly, you can actually see the outline of that pocket on here. So I know if you can see the outline of a flat pocket, then if you start adding stuff, you're definitely gonna see the outline. We just put some packing cubes in here to fill it out. And now time to talk about the detachable laptop sleeve that can be found in it. We have a quick little Mountain Hardwear logo here. Again, we have a thin, low profile pocket with black mesh. I didn't really use that too much. We have some more of the green marl paracord, which is a nice muted color that grew on me about halfway through the review. Normally I would like a little contrast with my zippers, just so it's easy to visually identify, but this is just a nice touch. The laptop sleeve has 2 openings, so you could have 2 laptops, or a laptop, an iPad, laptop, notebook. And at the top we have a label, the Simcoe 28. Just in case you have multiple detachable laptop sleeves lying around, you can match this Simcoe 28 laptop sleeve to your Simcoe 28 bag. This bag is detachable via a nylon strap and can be completely removed. One thing I didn't like about this laptop sleeve is that it actually, I have to remove this to really show it. There's no way to kind of latch or put something over here to make sure that like your laptop, especially if you have a smaller one, like doesn't slide out. I was working at a coffee shop around week 1 of testing, and I had the bag sitting upright like this and on a chair, and basically the bag, because it doesn't sit up on its own, it toppled over while my laptop was still in there. And it would have been nice to have that security strap just for peace of mind, because the laptop could have fell over and shot out like a hot dog or something like that, but thankfully it didn't. But that incident during my first week of testing really impacted how what I put in my bag, especially when I was traveling. So once we remove that detachable laptop sleeve, we see this gigantic, cavernous 28-liter bag. One thing I don't like, the way this strip is designed, this Velcro strip, it's kind of like the sticky bandits from Home Alone, where it just kind of catches on everything. So we have a suspended pocket here that has a little strap, and these sometimes get caught up, or if you have any sort of fabric. When I was traveling, I had a couple sweaters in here. Those would get attached on there. So this Velcro strap attaches to everything. It would have maybe helped if the detachable laptop sleeve used like a buckle system or something, just so it didn't catch on. But other than that, there is a pen pouch up here. It has a red non-elastic nylon strap with a plastic latch, and it is mesh so you can see inside of it without opening it. So there you have it, the Mountain Hardwear Simcoe 28 backpack. I hope you enjoyed the review and learned something new. Thanks for keeping it at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you at the next video.